What's going on? Welcome back to Real World Tool Reviews. And here in front of me is a ridiculous amount of vice grips for one man to own. But I figured I'd do a video on vice grips. I do. You guys have, you've seen my videos on specific tools, and I figured I'd do one on vice grips before I sell these Craftsman ones, which are for sale on eBay right now on my eBay page. Nice Craftsman made in the USA ones. I've got these ones really recently, so I have not had all these vice grips for all that long. These were the first ones that I had. Was this set of Husky ones, and when I pulled these out, I was like, dang, it looks like vice grips they stay really clean on this coating stays clean. But I also don't use vice grips a whole lot, but when I need them, they're just some of my favorite things to have ever. But these ones are Husky. And this was a set that I bought when I first started doing maintenance. And they are cheap. I got these around Christmas time for maybe $10 or $15. And they've been good. I use the needle nose ones more than maybe any other vice grips. But if you just need some vice grips, and you just really need them, get these Husky ones. They're good. And don't worry about it. But if you want the real deal, you need to look around for some original vice grips. Not these Irwin vice grips that say the original on it. You need to find you a set of these right here. Vice Grip Peterson vice grips, DeWitt, Nebraska. These things are really easy to restore, and they are so much better than your vice grips that you get today. They're just, and these things, a lot of people had them. They're very, very common at estate sales and stuff. And if you are willing to look around, you can find them. These ones I've found just over the last several months, and I love the really probably my favorite vice grips are the straight jaw kind. They're good for like clamping stuff together, or just really clamping onto something and getting a good bite on it. I love the straight jaw ones, but I also love the curved jaws. It's just nice to have the different kinds. So I have found 10-inch straight and curved, 8-inch straight and curved, and then what's not as common is the needle nose. And these needle nose ones they're just awesome. They have some good cross hatching teeth at the end, unlike these other ones, like these Craftsman ones. They're like that, And the other thing about the Craftsman is they have like kind of a thicker needle nose, whereas these vice grip ones are more needle nosy, Same with the Husky ones. Husky ones are even more beefy compared to the vice grip. So stuff like that just makes a difference. These are just way more, the details are much better, and they also just feel so much more solid. Like I was doing this earlier with these two pairs. I don't know if the sound will be able to pick it up as well, but so listen to the way these Husky ones sound. I'm going to try and hold it up to the microphone when I clamp them together. You hear that ring? it's just like it's like kind of cheap steel, you know. Listen to this. You can just tell by the sound that this steel is more solid. Like I don't. It's just I don't know. Like people back in the day used to say like you can tell the quality of like a snap-on wrench. Like you throw a snap-on wrench across the room and hear the ping compared to if you threw a cheap one across the room. This one just sounds. It's got more soul to it, you know. But when you hold them, they just feel so much more solid, and there's things about them that are better, like the welds on this part compared to like that is already cracking and coming apart on the Huskies. That's welded together. It ain't going nowhere. And like the way that the bolt goes in and out just feels so much better. Like this just feels like burred up and not machined as well. Just little things like that. And that's just, you know, that's why you need to find these, because you can get these Vise Grip kind for like $1. They're common at estate sales and yard sales and stuff. Everybody had them back in the day. And look for the ones that say Peterson, DeWitt, Nebraska Vise Grip. Cool little logo. But you can find, and there's so many different kinds. They're fun to collect. I really want some of the like the welding ones that with the big clamp, C-clamp ones. And there's a bunch of different other varieties of these, different kind of clamps that they made and stuff. But if you need some new ones, I would highly suggest these Huskies. This Vise Grip, I bought these not too long ago, actually. That's why they're really nice and shiny new. I've actually used these a little bit. I like these because of how big that flat jaw is. It's come in handy for me. And these Irwin ones, I mean, they're expensive. Like I paid like $18 or something for this pair, and they are pretty nice. Like they're nicer than the Huskies, that's for sure. They're pretty good. So if you want to pay high dollar for some good ones, you can get these. But I would say all day long, try and find you some Peterson ones. And then if you want some cheap ones that are actually really good, these Bremens from Harbor Freight, I love these little ones. I use them all the time for rusty toilet bolts and things of that nature. Sometimes working on stuff with my car. These are a handy size of little Vise Grips, and these Bremen ones, they're really good. They're a step up from the Huskies, I think, actually. This is one of those Harbor Freight tools that's actually not bad at all. So I would really kind of recommend the Bremens. I wish maybe instead of the Huskies, maybe I wish I would have bought the full set of Bremen ones. But now it doesn't matter because I got my Vise Grips. But it's good to have them in different places, you know. And these Craftsmans I just decided to sell because while they're nice, they're made in the USA. I'm really curious to know who made these for Craftsman. If anybody knows, let us know in the comments. But they're not nearly as good as the Peterson Vise Grips. These ones, they're like, you can see how kind of thin that handle is. It's kind of like sharp, and I mean, they're good. They'll do the job. They're still nicer, I think, than these Chinese ones over here. But like the jaws are not quite as good. They're just not as comfortable to use. They just don't seem as high quality nearly at all as these ones are. The needle nose ones seem okay, but I mean, they're still better than most things you can get today, but I don't need them, so that's why I'm selling them on eBay. But man, I just, I don't know if this is kind of a boring talk about Vise Grips or not, but I love using Vise Grips. I've used them for years and years, just to clamp on to nuts and bolts, to back hold it or something, or just hold something together, clamp something together, get a really good grip on something that you can't really do with, if it's something's really stripped out and you can't get a wrench or a socket or whatever, Vise Grips really come in handy. Something that's really stuck in somewhere and you just can't get it with pliers or something, clamp onto this, and then you can really just use all your force to yank on it. I used to use it at the apartments all the time when people would drill lag bolts into studs trying to hang TVs and stuff, and I'd have to get it out when I was turning an apartment, and they will have just like completely destroyed the head of the lag bolt with a pair of pliers or something like that, and I'll just clamp on these straight jaws onto it, and just clamp onto it, and just twist it right out of the stud, stuff like that. I have gotten into some serious pickles with copper pipe coming out of sleeves in the ground, where I crimped it and messed it up and had to pull some copper pipe out of the sleeve with just enough room to braze a coupling on. Anyway, just when you get in pinches, I use this very set of Vise Grips to hold that piece of pipe onto the PVC sleeve so I could slide that coupling on and braze it on there to make room for it so I could fix it going up out of the sleeve. I never would have been able to do it without a clamping pair of pliers that I could clamp onto the side of that sleeve. Just stuff like that. Like, this is just a tool that you really want to have to get you out of some sticky situations. They're really an irreplaceable tool. They've been around forever, and they've been designed the same way because they work. They just work. It's an awesome, awesome tool. The one pair of Vise Grips that I have not tried that I should is the new Malco Eagle Grip ones. They're made in the USA. I think they maybe are even made in the factory that these ones used to be made in, or something like that. I might be wrong about that, but those Eagle Grips I've heard are really nice. They're stupid expensive though, like crazy expensive. They make them for Snap-on now. So Malco, if you want to send me some of those Eagle Grips for a review, I'll be glad to test them out for you. Just saying. I've heard they're really, really nice, but I'm not going to buy those because they're so expensive, and I already have, as you can see, so many Vise Grips. But really, what I would suggest to you if you are in the market for some really good American-made Vise Grips is just look around at the ones that are already laying around at yard sales and estate sales, because they are there. And all of these pretty much looked horrible when I found them. Like, you should have seen, I remember these ones in particular looked so bad when I got them. And now they look pretty damn good, don't they? They're just in perfect condition pretty much. And they deserve to have a good long life with me. So anyway, I think that's about enough about Vise Grips. Thanks for watching.